My name is Busayo, and I'm going to be taking you through the payroll module on MyXalary. Let me quickly add to this that I'll be using our test environment to carry out the session. Then, before you will be able to run payroll successfully on MyXalary, you must have gone through your onboarding process. What I mean by onboarding process means you must have input your employees' information. The necessary information, which include their name, their email address, phone number, account information, and the employee's annual gross salary. In order for you to run payroll successfully on MyXalary, you need to set up your salary scheme. So I'll be going through the payroll module right away. So setting your salary scheme is something very easy. You simply click on payroll, then you click on salary scheme. Click on create salary scheme. You can give your salary scheme any name of your choice. So for me, I'm just going to call it salary scheme. Then if you are doing tax and pension, you enable your tax, you enable your pension. By default is enabled, but in a situation whereby you are not doing tax and pension, simply disable it. Then if you are doing it, you need to select the type of tax you are doing. If you are doing withholding tax, you can customize your withholding tax. However, for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll be using payee. Then for pension, usually it's 10% employer and 8% employee. Then you further do your breakdown in terms of basic transport and housing in percentage. Then if you have any further breakdown, you can also include them. So for me, for the purpose of this demo, I'm just using this figure I'm imputing here as my salary scheme. So I want to believe I have other allowances. Then my other allowances total 25%. Everything is now 100%, then I save. The next thing I need to do is to assign my employee to the salary scheme I've created. So I simply come here to employee, then I view as a list. I click on all my employees, then I assign them to the salary scheme. So I've successfully added the staff to their salary scheme. To create payroll in few steps, I'm done creating payroll. So I simply come to payroll here. I click on create payroll. I select the month of payroll I want to create. For instance, I'm creating payroll for July. Then I select the start date. I impute the end date. I click on next. On the stage 2 of the payroll, this is where I handle my bonuses and my deduction. So for my bonuses and deduction, I can decide to add as many bonuses and deduction that I want. For instance, let's say I have a staff that took a loan from the organization, so I can just do I owe you. I had as a deduction. Then if the person has another deduction, let's assume a lateness, that's if I want to impute that manually, I impute that too. I can also impute bonus for the staff. Then I can go ahead to view paste it to ensure that the employee's calculation is correct. So once I'm done imputing all the deductions, I scroll down and next. Okay, the system indicated that someone is having a negative net. So I will simply need to go and remove the person. So a scenario might come up whereby a staff is having a negative net. Probably his deductions are actually far more than his earning for the month. So I will need to unclick everybody that has a negative net so that I can proceed with my payroll. On MyXalary, we've been able to achieve instant payments such that when you create your payroll, your employee can get their payment immediately. So if I want the payroll to be created and the salary to be disbursed almost immediately, I simply use the instant payment option. Right here, the payment date has populated the same day, which is today. Then I next. Then I click on finish. I've simply completed my payroll creation processes. However, we have what we call approval workflow on MyXalary. So in a situation whereby one person is not a stakeholder to creating payroll, you can also set your approval workflow. You can assign someone to create payroll, someone to approve payroll, and someone to review payroll. But for the purpose of this demo, I'm acting in place of all those three workflow. So I've successfully created payroll. Then to review the payroll, I simply click on the payroll. So this is the overview of the payroll I just created, giving me the total number of staffs I'm paying, the total gross salary, the net, the payment date, the tax, the pension, and the charges. I can also go further to check what has been calculated for each employee if they are actually correct. I can go as far as checking their pay slips again and check all the deductions and bonuses that has been imputed. So once I'm fine with all this calculation, I can now go ahead to review. But in a situation whereby I cited a mistake, I can decide to reject the payroll and make a comment. So I can just reject the payroll and say, okay, adjust deduction or add deduction for the new staff Ade. So right here, I've successfully input my comments so that the person to create payroll will know what to adjust. So I've rejected the payroll. I can now go back again to edit the payroll since it has been edited. It has been rejected. Then I'll just say, okay, adjustments or want to add deduction for Ade. Then I'll go ahead to adjust the payroll. So it has taken me back to the first interface because I actually want to do a payroll adjustment. So in a situation whereby there's a person I want to do payroll adjustment for, I've done my adjustments, then I next. I click on next again. At this point in time, I've successfully adjusted my payroll. Then I can now go ahead to review. Then approve the payroll. At this point, I will need to fund my wallet. So the moment the wallet is funded, I will need to process the payment and select wallet balance. So it says please note that instant payments are not reversible and usually take 30 minutes process. Then I click OK. At this point, everybody get their payments almost immediately. So that is how the instant payment works. And the moment all your staff are being paid, all the staff get automated payslip and payroll reports will be available for you as a management staff. Thank you.